Hello, I'm Zach. I live in my van that I call Gertie with my dog Winter, and we travel full-time living on the road, finding resources as we go, meeting friends as we go, seeing all the sights as we go. Thank you for tuning in. This video picks up right where the last one left off. And if you haven't seen that one, I am driving north. I just passed through Phoenix, continuing north to Utah and eventually Nevada. But Utah is the main goal right now. Featured in this video is not one, but 2 camp tours. I show you how I set up my camp, where I set it up, why I set it up there. And these are 2 places you actually really don't want to miss. They're 2 really beautiful spots. And I'm excited to have you along on this adventure. So let's get started. Alright, back at the van, and I think it's a good time to do a quick camp tour, mainly because the wind is chilled out. It was just blowing through for a while there, and now it's much nicer. Wow, look at that exposure. There you go, I think you can see me all right. I am actually just the tour guide anyway, so I want you to see what I'm pointing at. So that's the table I put out. It's actually a DeWalt work table. I think it holds like 400 pounds or 200 pounds or something. Well, all I know is it'll hold my weight, and I can use it to make stuff on. I can use, see, there's the wind. I can use this table to make stuff on. I can do work with like wood or building stuff. I can use it to hold whatever I need to put on it for my camp. It's usually my grill and whatever else I put out here. Like I'll put out my jug of water that I use for showers out here and just put it on the table so it's not on the ground. I can also use this table to work on the van, so I can stand on it and access like the side of the roof and stuff. And the tables fold up so that the tabletop is the only piece that's left and the legs fold up into it. So I put that at the very back of the van since it's usually one of the first things that comes out. You can see I have a windbreak right there. That's because it was so windy it kept blowing out my grill, and even that didn't work 100%. So I had to like keep listening to make sure my grill didn't go out last night when it was so windy. So that's where I set that up. There's also a rug down on the ground here, or just a rubber mat. That rubber mat is what I put between the table and the door so that the table doesn't move when I'm driving down the road. Works really good. And pretty much that's usually the first thing I put out is the mat. Just when it's dirty on the ground, it makes a huge difference to have a mat down to take the dirt off the paws and off of the shoes before I enter the van. I try to take my shoes off if I'm in the van for a while, but I found that it's just easier just to be really consistent with my vacuuming. I try to do it every other day. A lot of times I'm doing it every day. Guaranteed every other day, sometimes every day. Now if you look behind me here, there's my Starlink. The Starlink is one of my favorite things I have now. It kind of was a game changer and just made it so that I could park anywhere and not feel the need to leave at any point to get back into cell service. I pretty much always have decent service with this thing. Unfortunately, it's taken some serious hits. This is actually my second antenna, and this one, it was doing really good until it got blown off the roof, I think in Texas, and it just destroyed where the antenna goes into the ground mount. So I'm gonna have to build a whole new mount system. I want to build it so that it can both go on top of the roof of the trailer in the van, and I want to build one so that it can go on the ground. So here's my trailer, which most of the time isn't used. I have a generator in there and some spare fuel, my extra water tanks, my tools for building stuff, my tools for working on the motorcycle, my motorcycle parts, the motorcycle and the motorcycle gear. That's generally what's all in there. I rebuilt it. I put insulation in all the walls so the thing doesn't rattle too much and it's more resistant to heat changes. I put this little cover over the vent cover on the top so that I can open the vent and drive down the road, and I never have to worry about it if it's raining or whatever. The biggest concern with that is if it's dusty. So the trailer is right here. I just put some cool mud flaps on it which seem to work really good towards the back, but not so much towards the front here. So I'm thinking I might actually put front flaps on the trailer just to prevent it from doing that. And it also put a lot of mud on the van when it did that. So this is my little 5x8 trailer. I've done a lot of work to the outside to protect it from rocks, which is why there's new mud flaps on the van in the front and the rear, in the rear and the front. And also new mud flaps on this. I put kind of some rubber matting on the front. I want to go more into this stuff in detail when I do an actual tour of the whole thing. Right down here, you might be able to see there's a little green garden hose coming out, and it looks like that's where water comes out, because that's where I have my pea funnel and my gray water routed. I stayed in Texas for about 4 months, and all of my water went to one place, and that's where the greenest grass, the tall, twice as high as the rest of the grass, grew up right when spring hit. So it's definitely not toxic to plant life. You can also see I leveled out on this one. I usually try to park places where I don't have to level. It, one, saves the levelers, and two, saves me time and effort. But the levelers have been something I absolutely need. I carry around 20 of them, and that seems to be enough to get the van level in most reasonable spots. Occasionally I do end up in a spot where I'm not level, and it's an uncomfortable night, but I make it just fine. It's not the end of the world, but I really do hate not being level. But this is kind of a standard camp, probably my last camp in the Sonoran Desert. And I think it's time for us to pick up and leave, get the heck out of here. I finally checked off the box of springtime in the Sonoran Desert. It's not too hot now. The weather's going to start swapping here soon. The lower altitudes down near Phoenix, they're going to start getting hot. The southern Mojave is going to start getting hot. So I really want to make this switch up towards St. George, where it's still going to be hot, but it gives me the option to go into some mountains, to go east, to go west. I have a lot of options to modify my temperature as the spring makes up its mind, moving towards summer. So Winnie, I think, is out exploring. All I need to do is pick up my Starlink, pick up my table and grill, pack up my hose, get off the levelers, put away the levelers, get in the van and drive off. So it's probably about a 10-minute process, and then we'll be on our way. So I put this thing on my steering wheel to remind me that my antenna's up. That way I don't drive off and damage my antenna, or I don't drive at all because it's right there. And so I use that a lot. And until my antenna's put away, it doesn't come off. So we made it to Kingman. I have refueled. I ate the rest of my convenience store pizza from earlier, and now we got about a 30-minute drive to an area that looks like there's plenty of BLM camping, which is all I care about. Nice free spot for the night. I think we're about 1 to 2 hours from Vegas on that route, and so we'll be able to get through Vegas pretty easily tomorrow and maybe make it all the way to St. George, or make it most of the way there. I think I'll pick you back up as I start heading down the road off of the highway. No gate across. There's the easy Pickles road. So the spot I picked, which I guess is the beginning of the spots, is 1.4 miles up here. Okay, I think this spot's probably going to be fine. Ooh. Trailer went crooked on me there. I don't want to back down that road. Theoretically, that might have worked. That was a little nerve-wracking there because I wasn't sure how much space I had. Turns out I got pretty close to going off the road. Let's just cross that and wash right away. So what I'm thinking is I'll back into this and hopefully figure out how to get level. Most important thing is not to hit anything with the trailer and to not hit the trailer with the van. If I can manage that, we can make anything happen. Haven't crunched the trailer, haven't crunched anything else. Did it. Alright, we're straight. I got everything set up. I actually decided on dinner too. I'm gonna heat up some steak on the grill. There's some small cheap steaks, so I'm gonna heat up those steaks, slice them up, and throw them on a salad. I'm more in the mood for something light tonight, and I really don't want to cook too much, so a salad with some delicious steak on there sounds good. I got some nice toppers with some like crunchy nuts and some bacon, real bacon bits to throw on there just because I like a little smoke to it, so that should be pretty tasty. But I thought I'd do a quick camp tour or parking spot tour just after the sun has gone down. It's absolutely beautiful. Let's see if we can get a little lower on the ISO. You can kind of see the beautiful light behind me. We're up here in this nice little valley, so there's beautiful mountains back there, some mountains back there, and then this road, I can actually see it right up in there. Just keeps going, it's right there. So it just keeps on going up and away. And I'm just parked on this little offshoot road here versus that road there. So we're just off the road. We're underneath these light power lines, which makes me kind of wonder what's over there, or if these lines are just crossing over the mountains here because it's convenient. But the highway is about 2 miles that way, and I can't hear it at all, not a lick. I also don't see any lights out here. I might be able to see some highway lights through there. So it should be a really nice night for stargazing. Should be a nice quiet spot to park, which should allow me to sleep really good. I noticed that in cities I wake up over and over and over again during the night, and I'm waking up to noises. And when I'm out in places like this, I barely wake up to anything. Although the wind has been giving me some noise issues lately. Let's bring the light up a little bit. There we go. Now you can really see me. I love filming during this time because the lighting is just perfect and looks beautiful. So we're just on this random desert road, kind of on this small intersection. I managed to back right into here first try, other than not being in the right location, but I backed right into there. I got her all leveled out, and this is us for the night. I think it's a really nice quiet spot. I'm probably going to throw a pin on it so I can remember it myself, and just come back here if I need to get a nice place for the night. And I'm pretty sure I could probably stay here as long as I wanted, you know, within the legal 14-day limit of staying in a in the same location. But I think it's just going to be for the night. We didn't dodge all of the cold weather. You just gotta, it's going to be right about freezing with the low tonight. And right now it's in the mid 40s, as you can tell by my nice fuzzy hat here, trying to keep my poor bald head warm. But I think it's going to be a beautiful night, nice and quiet, nice and private. We got a really good spot, and I think now I'm going to get this grill started up so that I can heat up my steak and have some dinner. Nice and easy. So I just got these 2 little cheap steaks. Got some decent marbling on them though, so there should be some good flavor for those. But those are just for some salad seasoning essentially. Well, it's getting pretty chilly out here. I can definitely feel it. As soon as that sun went down, all the heat disappeared. It's going to be about 31 degrees tonight, or 32, so close to freezing. So it's going to be a little bit chilly in the morning. I don't like to run my heater all night unless it's like below freezing all night. Then I'll run it all night because it's necessary. But below that, I can just leave it off, save the fuel, save the noise. I'm pretty excited to stay nice and cozy in the van. That's kind of the magic of having one of these things, or having a vehicle that you can stay in, is you're just cozy everywhere, and it's just delightful. Steaks are ready, steaks are ready, steaks are ready. Didn't want to dirty a spatula, so I just did it by hand. Let's make sure this one's done. Oh, perfect. Just a little bit of pink on these guys. Like, almost none, but they're going on a salad, so. Woo! Almost lost a fingy. Now we toss this delicious steaming pile of steak on my lovely salad. Winnie gets her pieces. Yummy for Winnie. She also gets the juices too. Come on. Come get it. And now for the ranch, and I have dinner. Voila. Steak, salad, ranch, deliciousness. Pretty light to eat, pretty tasty. I'm gonna sit down and eat my dinner, and I will see you in the morning reasonably early so that we can hightail our way up to Vegas, get through there, and hopefully get up to somewhere in Utah or north of Vegas. As long as I can get north of Vegas tomorrow, I'll be happy, because then I won't have to deal with the traffic through there again for a long time. So I'm gonna eat my dinner And I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. The adventure will continue next week. As you know, I hate asking people to subscribe, hit the thumbs up, or ding the little bell, so I won't. But you should. Thanks for watching.